Morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today we have our student Siddhant Passey, an AIIMS graduate who had a very successful match, a recent graduate. So he wanted to share his journey and tips with you all. So welcome, Siddhant. I'm glad you can make it today.
Hi, Pawan sir. I'm glad to meet you too.
So Siddhant, as a recent graduate with a very successful match, let's first start with your introductions briefly, where you are from and so on. Then we'll dive into some questions.
Right. So I'm originally from Delhi, India, and I went to medical school in 2016. I started my medical school at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Jodhpur. And I recently applied for the residency match, and I matched at University of Connecticut.
So give us some kind of a timeline, or give us how you built your profile for this successful match. This was your first season, you're a recent graduate. Give us some sense of how to build a successful profile.
Right. So I had an idea on the back of my mind that, I'm interested in pursuing residency in the US from my second year or so of medical school. And around my, eighth semester of medical school, I gave my step one, which was in 2020. And since I had completed step one, so I could do many hands-on clinical rotations in the US. And my internship was in 2021. And during that time, I was able to do electives, which I did at Yale University for 1 month. And 2 months of rotations I was able to do at University of North Carolina. And I was able to get some very strong letters of recommendation from these rotations. And after that, after graduating from medical school, I worked as a junior resident in my hometown in Delhi. And simultaneously, I worked on a couple of research articles with some of the faculty that I met in the US during my rotations. And all of this really helped me in applying for the match, which I did right after completing my internship in 22.
So it appears to me that the timing is critical for recent graduates. So like you were able to do step one in your med school, then probably in your internship, you utilize that time to do more clerkships and all that. So that once you graduated, probably you were left with CK and the research initiatives that you took. So talk to us about the criticality of timing in this journey for a recent graduate.
Absolutely. So, something that really helped me in, maintaining my timeline was being able to give my step one during my medical school. So, because of that, like I mentioned, I was able to do hands-on rotations. And soon after graduating, I had some US experience, and I had just completed my internship. So I was very fresh with the clinical subject. So because of that, studying for CK became quite, easy. And since I had also given my step one quite recently, so all of it fell into place. And, I was able to do CK within a few months of graduating.
So good. So now, all these good things, but I'm sure you faced your set of challenges. So talk to us a bit about what challenges you faced in this journey and how did you overcome?
Right. So, one big thing that came up for almost all the applicants was, of course, COVID. So, because of COVID, my step one exam got postponed initially, and I had to give it while just, 1 month before my medical school examination. So that was a small challenge I faced. After that, getting US rotations was very tough because of COVID. All the universities had closed their electives. So I only had 4 or 5 programs where I was able to apply for clinical rotation, but luckily I was able to get them. So after that, I think the next set of challenges that I faced was during the match, when I was something new which came up in a couple of seasons before, was the supplemental era. So that was a bit, a bit of a new thing for me, especially the signaling part, and that was a bit tough. But you helped me a lot with that, so that all worked out eventually.
Now let's switch gears and talk about how you utilized Sarthi resources, our community, and how was that of benefit to you?
Right. So, there were plenty of different steps at which Sarthi helped me a lot. Like I mentioned, the supplemental eras was completely new. Signaling was something, I wasn't aware about. None of, my seniors knew about it. So you guys helped me a lot with that. There was constant, guidance in the Telegram group, where whenever, any of the students had a doubt, which often the doubts were common among many students, so they were clarified on that group. Apart from that, of course, the CV and PS editing services were excellent. They helped me to make sure that I'm submitting what the program directors want to see, and what is an well written personal statement and CV. And the interview preparation services were also excellent, and they really provided me an idea of how I am supposed to speak. And more important than anything else, I got confidence in the way I was speaking, going into interviews before the main interview.
Okay, thank you. This was great. Now, if you were to advise any applicants for coming seasons, what would be your 2 or 3 main learnings, advice for applicants?
Yeah, so I think one advice that I would like to give is to, if you're still in medical school, then try to give your step 1 early, so that you can do hands-on clinical rotations in the US, which will provide you with strong LORs and really help you build strong connections. So that is one advice. Apart from that, I would say to make sure that you keep on working hard. The step scores are, of course, very important, and make sure that you score, that you're getting a good score in your NBMEs, your target score, before appearing for the exams. So yeah, I think those are some advice that I have.
Thank you very much, Siddhant. Much appreciate your time. This is excellent, and hopefully will motivate more and more IMGs to take the USMLE path.
Thank you so much.